played. Loved the way we fought the entire game. They made runs at us, but it was a bend, but don't break type of night. And at the end we were able to string some stops and scores together. Myles Turner was spectacular. Really both ends of the floor, shooting the three just tremendously well. Also, a couple really big plays in the game. Goga hitting the three in the fourth quarter, was much needed, and we ran that action, because we felt that he could get that look. We have, that kind of confidence in him. And then McConnell's three out of the right corner. He's got a banged up wrist right now. He didn't even take any shots this morning in shoot around, but that thing was all string. So big win for us. We're starting to get some footing, with health and our identity as a team, and so we just got to build it from here.
Rick, they cut that deficit down to 2. As you noted, McConnell hit the 3, and then on the following defensive possession, Goga gets a steal and a bucket. Maybe not how many would predict it, but is that a good example of the balance you're trying to get from this roster, 1 through however many take the floor?
Yeah, we need everybody. We need everybody, and everybody that stepped into the game contributed in a positive way, and even the guys that didn't, were into the game. From an energy standpoint, we had a real good vibe over on the bench, and this is a tough game. I mean, New York's a hard-playing, tough, talented team that just keeps coming at you. And the beginning of the third, they made a run. They were making runs really the whole half. I'm really proud of the way we kept our poise and our aggression.
Strong final 6 minutes or so to close them out. As you get healthier like this, how much does that change the equation as you're trying to win games late like tonight?
Well, having a healthy roster is really like the most important thing. But look, Caris's minutes are getting, we're able to inch them higher and higher. I think he was at 31 tonight. And we'll just try to keep building it from here. But he exerts a lot of energy when he plays, and so really got to monitor the bursts, because as you've seen the first couple games, he gets to that 4 or 5 minutes in, and you can tell the fatigue is there. But getting stronger each game, which is really key.
2 games in a row now where Myles has got off to a fast start offensively. He also did that obviously in Washington. Is that something that you want to get him involved early, make a conscious effort, or is it just kind of the flow of the game?
Let's get off the whole Myles involved thing. Myles is really getting into a groove with how he fits into what we do as a team. Don't make a big deal just because he scores a bunch of points. That's not what our team is about. It's about balance. It's about doing your job. Tonight, every night, his job is to step into open shots, whether they're threes, whether they're twos, whatever. The only play that the whole night that I thought he could have done better on that one offensive rebound, he could have gone stronger. He kind of just ended up going short. The second time when Domas gave him the ball, he dunked it. And that's the kind of force that our entire team has to go with all the time.
Rick asked you about this a few games ago, but you continue to go to the Sabonis-Spitadze combined lineup at times to throw off the other team. How much does that lineup giving you something different, 2 big guys with length, help you guys, and how much does it being different than what you normally do help you as well?
Well, rim protection is a very important part of the game. Part of our identity as a team is that we are big. We have big guys that are multifaceted. And, getting Goga involved is something that we needed to do. He didn't play the first couple games. He's kept himself ready, and tonight, he made a lot of really important plays. I mean, the 2 threes that he hit were timely threes in the context of the game. And then the steal, on the play where he jumped out on Rose and the finish, that got the crowd really, really back going again. So, but look, we expect our guys to play aggressively and play well. They work hard. They put the time in, and they put themselves in a position to succeed.
What were you told about Myles at halftime? Because he clearly was evaluated.
That he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I meant to mention this. T.J. Warren had another scan yesterday. Came back with another positive result, so he is now out of the boot, and so he is in sneakers now. He's working out with shoes on. He did some light shooting today with shoes on instead of a boot, and so obviously it's great news for us. There's no timetable or anything. This is going to be weeks, not days, weeks, but hopefully not months. So we'll see.
Rick, tonight was your first night with Brogdon and LeVert both playing together. What did you like about what they brought and how they played together?
Well, they both are attackers, and when we've had struggles in recent games, it's a lot of times it's had to do with our inability to put pressure on the rim. Malcolm's one of the best in the league at doing it. Caris does it in a little bit different way, but these guys create a problem because they both shoot the three well, they both attack the rim well, and they both play the mid-range game well. So. But having them together was a sight for sore eyes.
Caris, they were able to cut that deficit down to 2 in the fourth quarter. It seemed like you guys remained really attack-minded and continued to attack the rim. How much was that the mindset in the fourth quarter, and how much did that play into closing New York out?
Yeah, I think for us, it was more on the defensive side of the ball. We knew that if we got stops on that end, we would get easy baskets in transition. And I think Malcolm was preaching in every huddle that we had just to keep getting stops and locking in on defense. And I think we did that. We held them under 100 points, and they couldn't really score in the fourth quarter, so that was huge for us.
When teams are trying to make a comeback on you, now that you're back and you've got Malcolm back and this group is relatively healthy, I mean, how much does that change the equation when you're trying to close out in the fourth quarter, having that many options?
It's huge for us. We're a veteran group. A lot of us have, myself, Malcolm, Domas, Myles, we're all 6-7 years in, so we've been in these situations plenty of times. So we don't really get nervous or anything like that. We know what to do. We know where the ball should be. We know what to do defensively. We just locked in tonight.
Caris, you didn't get to play a ton with Malcolm last year as you were recovering. This was your first time playing with him since April. How did it feel to be with him, and how did you feel like you guys played together in your shared minutes?
Yeah, I felt like we played really well together. That'll be huge for us on this road trip, just to continue that chemistry with me and him, as well as Domas, Myles, and Chris as well. This is only my third game back. So just building that chemistry, playing more with those guys will be huge, but I feel like we figured it out on the fly tonight. At times the ball kind of got stagnant, but I think overall we played great on defense, and that's really what we tried to focus and lock in on, and that kind of covered up all our mistakes.
Just the two-way impact that Myles had tonight. I mean, what can you say about his performance?
Yeah, Myles was huge for us. I think he had like 3-4 blocks, guarding different guys, guarding guys off the switch, hedging ball screens. He played a great game. And then offensively, he hit like 7 threes, finishing at the rim. He was huge for us. I don't know if we play that well, we win that game without Myles. So hats off to him. He played a hell of a game.
Malcolm, as they cut the deficit to 2 there early in the fourth, you got a big play from McConnell, a big play from Goga. You, Caris, and Myles were pivotal down the stretch. Can you speak to what seemed like a complete performance in closing the Knicks out in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that's a really good team on the other end. One of the most physical teams in the league. They're very well-rounded, very well coached. But we out-physicaled them tonight, out-competed them tonight, and that's hard to do. So for us, that's probably the most complete game we've played on both ends all season, and we're proud of it. But it has to, carry over into the next game as well.
Rick has talked a lot from a defensive perspective about wanting things to be, in his words, sticky. You guys are connected. They shoot 41% tonight, score under 100. Seemed like there was a lot of intensity to start the game. Do you feel like you're starting to find your footing and what Rick wants out of this defensive system?
Yeah. Well, we respect Carlisle. We trust him. And, we're trying to execute what he's telling us to do. And, it's been hard to do that when we haven't been healthy. But now that we're getting everybody back, I think our confidence is growing. And we're starting to trust the system, the process, and each other more.
Malcolm, first game playing with Caris this season tonight. How do you feel like you two did together, and how did you like that fit when you guys were on the court at the same time?
I thought we did great. I think we're both unselfish. I think we both want to win more than anything. We were, I thought we played good ball on both ends, and that's what we have to bring every night is, being solid on both ends of the ball.
Yep, Malcolm, you mentioned how physical the game is. How did you feel during the course of it, coming off that inflamed fascia in your hamstring?
I felt good. Of course, I still feel it a little bit, but it's not, it's not a hamstring strain, so it's not something that's going to get worse. But it's, it's going to take time to heal. But I felt good. I played a lot of minutes, but I felt good out there.
Anyone else? Go ahead. Did this week kind of feel like a new beginning for you guys?
Absolutely. Today felt like a new beginning. The team got rolling a little bit while I was out with San Antonio, but tonight was honestly a better team and was going to present a different and way bigger challenge for us, and we dominated it.
Looks like later in the game they started calling more, being more officiated, and yet you guys kept attacking and actually won that battle. How much was that something you and Rick were emphasizing during the huddle?
Oh yeah, I try to echo a lot of what Carlisle says in the huddles, but for me, I want my guys to stay aggressive, to not be hesitant, not let especially New York's presence and their aggression make us hesitant or timid out there. So I keep encouraging my guys to be aggressive on both ends.
Did you sense they were trying to take Domas out of the game maybe a little bit like Toronto did? And unlike that Toronto game, do you feel like you were able to find other areas to beat New York?
Yeah, we got an all-star on this team, and that's Domas, and that's not going to change what he does, the presence he has out there, and teams want to stop him more than anybody. So they collapse on him in the paint hard when he has the ball on the block. They trap him. They put three guys on him. And Domas has been incredibly unselfish and just team-oriented and has put winning above anything else. I think he hasn't been talked about enough, but he's been terrific this season.
Myles, the 7 threes tonight were a career high, but the 25 points, the 13 rebounds, I think 3 blocks, it was a really complete performance. What enabled such a complete performance from you tonight?
I think just playing with energy, and this old saying, they say the ball finds energy, and I think if you play the game the right way, things usually work out for you. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do these past few games, assert myself, and then it's been working out for me.
Didn't seem like New York had a ton of interest in guarding you all that closely on the perimeter. Do you take that personally when teams don't come out there and try to smother you?
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't take none of that personally. It's just, I got the green light to shoot it, especially in those situations. So, if that's going to be the case, it's not going to be the case night in, night out, but that's the case. I'm going to let it fly.
It has to be gratifying when they're employing that style of defense to be able to make them pay.
Definitely. It was in the scouting report, and that's why, Coach said be ready. Load them up and let them fly. So I was able to get some good ones tonight.
Myles, guys like TJ and Goga made some big plays early in the fourth quarter, and then they were able to hand it off to the starters, and you guys closed it out. Is that kind of indicative of the depth of talent on this team when everyone's healthy?
Definitely so, man. I've been proud of Goga lately. He's been able to step up, make big plays, and it's not. I think he's been doing the little stuff. Obviously we see him hit threes here and there, but he's playing physical. He's grabbing boards. He's blocking shots, and that's the type of stuff that matters. So, I think he's been able to step up, make good contributions, and TJ, he's always solid. So, yeah.
Myles, what was that sequence like? I think it was like 3 minutes left. You basically prevented 3 straight baskets for the Knicks and hit a couple of threes. Mm-hmm. What were you thinking? Then you had that big celebration.
Just being in the moment, I guess is the best way to describe it. I think I was able just to, go out there and play the game like I know I'm capable of playing. And being in the moment there, defensively, offensively. I want to be a two-way player in this league, and I was able to showcase that.
Myles, what happened in that collision when you got thwacked there in the second quarter, and then when you didn't warm up to start the third? I think some of us were concerned that you got hurt.
Well, I have a history of concussions, so I was just being evaluated. Julius had a off arm, and he got me like right in the middle of the head. I was a little foggy for a second, but I snapped out of it and was able to come back in and contribute in the second half.
No lingering like dizziness or anything?
No, they wouldn't have let me play if that was the case. I'm good.
Everyone else?
It's been good having, having almost the full team, together. Because like I said, we have a lot of depth. What we alluded to earlier, at the beginning of the season, we're forced to be in a position where guys are going to have to step up. But now that's always going to be the case. But now that we have our core group together, that's huge for us. And it's just a lift more than anything, to have those guys go out there playing. Caris really hit the ground running. Malcolm didn't really miss a beat tonight. So that's the type of stuff we need. Those contributions are going to be important here in the future.